Hello, everybody, and thank you, Joyce, for meeting us today. And today we wanted to talk about your results after going through the program Alignment on Steroids, which is such a funny topic, right? But I believe that that's the results that people get after going through this program and aligning all of our energy. So Joyce, share with us a little bit about where you were before you started the program.
Before we started the program, I was in a good place, I thought. And I moved into this house from a bigger house 8+ years ago. And a lot of stuff was just put where it was put. And I've been living with that just the way it was. And, I was fine until you folks, encouraged me to get involved in this program. And the results were beyond what I even comprehended, because I had doubts, I was fine. So it's been absolutely an amazing journey so far. And each day I experience something different. So where I was before is in the past, and I prefer to be in the present. So can we move on? Not only kidding.
Well, and you say that because that's one of our objectives in the program, right? Is helping people to be more present. Because when we're more present, we're enjoying day on a daily basis, on a minute by minute basis. But when we're not present, we really are living in the past and creating more of the past in the present moment.
Exactly. And in my case, in just my living room, for instance, pictures on the wall, which were put up when I moved in because I really had no place else to put them. And so my daughter-in-law, thankfully, took over and just did that. And most of them were of the farm that I left. Great memories, great, and some not so great maybe, but it was my life. And so I was content to just be with that. However, having changed that now, I see where I was absolutely stuck in the past. And the fact that what I really realized was I wasn't as content as I thought I was. Yeah. And it started opening up, and it was like a bubble getting bigger and bigger until it, it hasn't really totally burst yet, but it's, it's getting there. And it's completely changed my way of thinking and my way of feeling.
That's just amazing. We really appreciate you being able to articulate that. One of the things that I found out with learning about feng shui is that, well, a lot of people are afraid of it because they feel like they're doing something wrong because they've read something that says things have to be a certain way. And that's not how I view it. And I view it as support. So you, in fact, were ready for a new part of your life. And when I think that people are ready for it, it's a little frightening because sometimes that means breaking away from the old way of doing things and maybe some relationships and whatever. So what you need, what I think you need, because I've been through it myself, is support around you. And it's great to find people that will support the things that you want to do and how the changes that you want to make. But very few people think in terms of setting up their space to support them. Mm-hmm. And that's the exciting part to me, is that once I'm in a person's space with them and helping them by asking them about their space, what are the things in their space, what are the stories behind them, what are the things that they feel really good about, and what are the things that are just up there or whatever. And then they start to tell me the stories, and I try to point out to them what is not really supporting them in the moment. That at this time in their life, they may want to think about changing some things because what I was taught, there's a phrase that I was taught that said, your past is not taking you places, your future is.
Right.
So, but we could also get too much into the future also. We want to be, like Jackie says, in the moment. So what are the things that we can, the way I look at it is, what are things that we can help you shift in your space that helps you do that, that supports you in that way of being, that new way of being. So I'm hoping that's what we did for you. And because Jackie, her work creates a different kind of support than mine, but it's all energy and it's all interactive and it all helps each other. So this was pretty exciting that we had such a good response to this program, because, you know, we know what our intention is, but it's up to the individuals to, like yourself, have the courage to step into it.
You're absolutely right, Pat. I think I made a comment to you. It's like the old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I think that's a real big myth, because you are teaching this old dog some new tricks. And one of them is definitely, I've had the support from Jackie, working with her for as long as I have on health issues and way of being. But with this program, with what you added to it, and it was a little stressful to begin with. It was doubts in my mind. But once we started working into it, I started listening to what you were saying, and you just showing me little things to move around in the house. I began to feel inside a possibility. And with the mirror up, the pictures off the wall and the mirror up on the wall, it was like, it was like the sun coming up in the morning. You know, it's like, it just lights you up. It just lights you up, gives you energy. And it was a little difficult to get out of the past. But what I realized was I wasn't giving up anything. I still had what I treasured, but I had a whole complete different way of looking at it. But the pictures weren't there anymore. But what I really am is a person of nature and outdoors and whatnot. And with the mirror on the wall in front of the bay window, it opened up, it made the room bright and brought the outside in. It just lit up. And what I got to do was appreciate the memories that were on the wall. I could see them in a whole different light. I still have them, but I also have the lightness of beginning something new, and being present, as I said before, and what's possible in the future. And I'm having a lot of fun doing that.
That's fantastic.
That's wonderful. Yeah, and that was my excitement for you, Joyce, because it's important to do the inner work, and you've done a lot of the inner work. And I think one level that I've been missing in my programs was what Pat offers to it and brings to it, is that my clients and I have amazing sessions. We go really deep and we do a lot of healing in the sessions, but they always go home to the same space, the same energy environment. And for me, when I started working with Pat, I was like, I didn't realize how much I was kind of battling my environment, even with all the work I've done. So when you shift all of that, then new possibilities and new desires and new goals have to show up because it's a completely new energy and you're being aligned with your soul's purpose. So that I love seeing all the excitement come to you because I know what's going to come to you going forward. It's going to be exciting.
It's true, and it is exciting, and it's not just even around in the environment, but I feel it reaching beyond home into the future things that I'm doing, and um, that's lighting me up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
And
think
it's an
really,
inner
oh,
feeling.
sorry. I think that's a really great point because your spirit has no limits.
Yes.
And I think I've seen a lot of locations where people are living or working where it limits them. And I guess that is the whole goal, is to align your space with your spirit so that you can pursue what your spirit and your soul wants.
Absolutely, and it's like well, I could say opening the door, but it's like a free reign to reach out. There's without the restrictions that you didn't. Well, first of all, you didn't know that the restrictions were there. At least I didn't. But when they're released, you realize how you can just go so far. I mean, it's unlimited where you can go, and it's it is once you get over that little fear of what are you doing here, it's great. It just lights you up.
I have a question for you that I like to ask a lot of people. Some people are focused on this specifically and others aren't, but once you get to that point that you're describing, how do you feel it's affected your sense of creativity?
My creativity is expanding. As I've been down working, doing things in my cellar, clearing out a lot of things which needed to be done. The creativity is the possibility of what I can do down there afterwards. And some of the things that I moved is like, oh, I could, giving me thoughts of how I can be doing something with some of them besides giving, passing them on. But it's opened up, it's freed my thinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
It really has, so that I don't know as I'm very creative anyway, but I mean, I never thought of myself that way. But I see things that I would like to try to do.
Well, I think you are very creative, and I think that's what creativity is. It's just shifting a perspective.
It's shifting, and I'll keep going.
I think you are very creative. You're very talented in your writing, and you've made some candles out of the blue, which were beautiful. So I think there's a lot more creativity that you haven't even tapped into yet.
Well, thank you, and it's kind of fun to just come up with different ideas, and as I'm thinking about it now, I'm not going to be afraid to try them.
That's beautiful.
I think that this is what's really inspiring about you, Joyce. I keep saying Joan because I told Jackie that I have an Aunt Joan that I'm positive is with me. And that's why I think I keep saying that name. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, Joyce, now I forgot what I was going to say.
Hey, I messed you right up there.
Well, it's along the lines of creativity and how we are hard on ourselves about that because we associate creativity with some massive global thing that we create or that someone has created, like the big names like Elon Musk or, someone that has changed the world or the guy from Apple. But I think more importantly, it's individually, we're here for different reasons. And when we start to shift our awareness, my favorite quote about miracles is miracles happen with shifts in awareness. And creativity is a huge part of that, because I feel that we live in a culture that is constantly telling us we're not enough, and or promoting the idea of being a victim. And once we get out of that mindset of being a victim and see the opportunity that we can create something, however small, that is so satisfying.
Exactly, exactly. And it's like taking baby steps. I find, I seriously speaking, I find that little things add up to great things. And it's it could be, as you have pointed out, just moving a chair or moving a piece of furniture somewhere. It's a it's a form of creative to me, because I didn't think of doing it that way before. So, but it opens up. It just opens up another world, and then little things at a time. Uh, how to put something, how to move something heavy, for instance. You think about it, okay, you come up with an idea, there's, put some cardboard under it, or, you know, come up with a solution, and that's being creative in how you do it. So I agree that creative has a very broad meaning, and I have not applied that in many cases. In other cases, yes, I have.
Mm-hmm.
So that opens up, this program just opens up all those things for more creative thinking and being.
Well, I think we all get into that limited thinking, and I think that's what's really powerful about Jackie's work, is helping us see the origins of that limited thinking and how it is holding us back, and how to let that go.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff we didn't even know we were thinking about anymore. I mean, certainly at this age, I've thought that I dealt with a lot of stuff, you know, and then all of a sudden I'll get a new perspective doing Jackie's work, and it's like, well, I didn't know I was still carrying that around, you know. Let me let that go of that one, you know.
Yeah.
So I totally understand what you're saying, because I've been through it myself.
I think that's why we think alike.
I agree.
In many aspects.
I agree.
And I think that's a really big awareness, because sometimes I hear people say, well, I can't do anything, or, you know, heart disease runs in my family, or lack runs in my family. I can't do anything about it. It's just the way it is. And we don't know that we can change it. But clearly, you, Joyce, have gone from being a skeptic and fear and limitations to now living with opportunities and excitement and a totally new energy, right? So we can't have, those two energies cannot occupy our minds at the same time. So when we make the choice to release all the negative thinking and kind of dive into why it's there in the first place, then we can choose something completely different. And when you align everything, it's just so easy for all those new, exciting possibility ideas and creativity to flow through you. Do you find?
Absolutely, and it's just huge. It makes a huge difference when it's, everything is in alignment, and giving up that fear of whatever it is that was holding you back. And it's such a freedom. It's a real freedom in all aspects.
Yeah.
I do remember right now what I was going to say before that you remind me of, Joyce, and that is, some people think that spiritual work is very serious, and it is, but what they don't see is the fun in it. Once you get through it, once you connect with your soul, once you connect with your spirit, how all of a sudden fun is okay again.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That's you hit it on the nail there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know so many people my age who think, all right, you know, at this age, you know, it's just downhill from here. It's all over. It's, you know, it's only going to get darker and worse and all that. And I'm thinking, where are you from? Yeah. No, it doesn't have. And you go to the doctor, the first thing they say to you is, well, as we age, you know, like, it's over, like, don't even bother. What? No.
I'll tell you, without laughter and humor in my life in all aspects of it, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I really wouldn't. And it's such a, it's, um, it's also a big, laughter is a stress reliever. And, you know, and there's humor in everything, as well as their seriousness and everything. And it's how you manage, how you do it, how you handle it, and what you feel in your heart that makes a difference. And I've been associated with various pastors along the way in my life. And in most cases, we've enjoyed a lot of laughter and a lot of joy in being in the spiritual context of things. And we don't give that up.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great.
So Joyce, do you have any insights for people who might be thinking about joining the program? Any advice?
The insight I would have is simply give it a try. If you find you absolutely can't get by, do it, or you really, that's the one thing, but give it a try. I can almost guarantee that once you start, you don't want to back off. You don't want to, quit. You'll never be sorry that you'll pick up something no matter what, and you'll always have it.
Yeah.
I absolutely encourage anyone to at least give it a try, and you'll be absolutely amazed how it can change your life and add to it.
Mhm.
Change it to the better, not anything negative, but change it to the better.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I'm the biggest skeptic.
It kind of becomes addicting, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I mean, who the heck wants to laugh all the time? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's terrible. Thank you, Joyce. Pat, do you have any more questions?
No, I mean, I just feel like I'm basking in Joyce's glow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for that comment, because you know what? I don't know how to thank you two ladies for bringing that joy to me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah. You've been a
Really
joy to
welcome.
work with. Yeah. Thank you, Joyce. So thank you.
You're welcome.